let's see what happens. You can always put it back. It's just clay. There's no crime with making your little changes on it and trying to find something you like. So I'm going to get in there with this knife, and I am literally going to cut it all off. And I'm going to go right in her scar here and right in a wrinkle. I'm trying to find natural places to chop it. This has been al-coated. This will, but you look, see how easily that's going to come right off anyway? Not only was it al-coated, which usually takes water to separate it, but the clay was put on a fairly wet bust. So the chances of it being very, 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 and it's not very thick either, so the chances of it being very, very, very stuck are low. See, I can pop that right off. And there's how thick it is. So that is a thick part for this, but this is, like I said, her Quasimodo eye, her ruined eye, and there's Cynthia's real eye underneath. So I'm just going to experiment with this. I really only want to move it a micro fraction. I really don't want to do much to it. I mean, at this point, you could do anything. You could carve it out, carve some of this meat out from the back, and you could move it way over. I'm not making the Frankenstein monster here. I actually want her to be realistically maimed. So, but I'm just looking to get a little more out of it. So I'm just going to move it a little bit. You'll notice that it already is lower than her real eye, and I think that's fun. All I'm going to do is move it that much. So I mean, I've moved it less than like a 1/16 of an inch. Now let's get some clay. I want to punch this cheekbone up to hit the level of that cheekbone. I just, like I said, maybe it's this hollow here that I don't have, but this feels more interesting to me than this one. And this is the one, because it's the ruined side, should feel more interesting. So first step would be to blend in what I just moved. And, you know, we'll just put some clay in there. The other trick that I do a lot, and I was doing this, excuse me, all last night, was I will take photographs of it and study the photographs, because a photograph will allow you to, it just gives you some distance from it. Suddenly you see how the camera sees it. You don't see how you see it with your eye. And I was just taking photos on my phone. I haven't taken any pro photos of it yet. And just looking at it, just seeing how it works in the light and how it photographs. I think that's a really good thing to do. A lot of times if you're working in a shop, you're not allowed to take photographs of it until, you're not allowed to even have photographs of it until after the movie comes out, because, you know, this is some serious top secret stuff we're doing. So, you know, you may not be able to do that. A mirror is also good. You can also just turn it around in a mirror and just study it a bit. Again, you're looking for that objectivity that when you're in the thick of sculpting it, you might not have. And a mirror or photographs will do that for you. But anyway, it was taking those photographs that made me think that I wanted to change this eye. And just, again, it wasn't bad. There wasn't anything wrong with it. I was wondering if it was a little too close to the nose, but see, the meat ratio on this side of the nose versus this side of the nose is different because of all this deformity that I've put in there. So, so I was wondering if it was too close, and you know, was on the fence about it. I was also just thinking I wanted to get more out of it. I wanted to wreck her a little bit more. So anyway, still blending in this part. See, I've changed it so imperceptibly that I really don't have to do much in terms of blending this. But we'll get that all put back. And then again, step back and look, and I'm thinking it's fine. I really didn't do anything too radical, so it's not killing me. All right, now. Now, some of this stuff that we got going on, and maybe this hollow on this side, we're going to try to find over here. So again, we can do some of this loose skin. I mean, we don't want it to be exactly symmetrical, but in the same vein. And we can just add some wrinklage. There maybe, and we can add some stuff here maybe. So anyway, I think that's fine. I don't think I've changed enough to wreck anything or seriously alter anything. But see, now I've got a nice hollow here that I didn't have before. We got this going on here, making much more of this cheekbone. I mean, yes, it's more fanciful now on this side, but I don't think it's beyond believability. And it is her ruined side, so I just want to play it up even more. All right, now we'll just try to blend it in and finish it up. What I'm looking at here is I'm kind of putting the same kind of wrinkle all three steps here, and you don't really want to do that. So you don't want too many symmetrical wrinkles. It doesn't look natural, although I could point to things on the reference that are that way, but in a sculpt it looks like a sculpture. So I'm trying to break it up a little, trying to find some alternate wrinkles to do here. And again, you want the other thing you want that I haven't really been doing on camera, but I've been finding after the fact at home, is you want to break up the big wrinkles with some little wrinkles. You don't want them all the same. You want some major ones, and then you want a lot of minor ones too. You really want to vary what you have here. Now I like this, and I'm going to bring that down here. Kind of got that going on the other side too. There's definitely a pull going on there, which I like. Again, you want that flesh hanging over you want the feeling that there's a bone there, and the flesh is hanging over it. And then here, we're going to make something that's working with her scar. And I'm not even in love with this scar yet. I like the position of it, but I just haven't really felt like I've gotten the pull of a puckery scar there. Again, it would be a scar that didn't heal particularly well, because it's something she dressed herself. She did not go to the emergency room. She regrets it to this day. Spoils her looks, really. I really want that snarly, nasty look to her, so I'm going to increase this line here. I feel I have them pretty good on the other side. But we're going to get that pull like they're, she's just always snarly and squinty. So those lines have become pretty permanent on her. Okay, so let's see, what do we got here now? I'm not sure about that yet. I'm going to let it go for the moment. We'll get back to that. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure I believe it. Sometimes what you get is just a happy accident. You know, you can push and pull the clay around until you're like, oh, that looks like something, and you leave it. And again, that goes back to, you know, art being abandoned rather than finished. You know, at some point you're just like, stop, and that's it. You know, you've got it. Now, I've got a bit of a hollow over here that I don't have over here, and it's this flesh is pulling, which we want, onto this muscle, but it could probably be hollowed out a little bit here. Which also means we could probably accentuate this pull over the bone, and that automatically gives us a little hollow there. And yeah, that's all right. I mean, a lot of this stuff's getting a little too even, but we keep working it and seeing what you can come up with. I don't want to put too many wrinkles in this eye because it's meant to be a swollen eye, and that would take away the wrinkles. Okay, yeah, I can kind of start living with that for a while and work on other areas, and you know, let's get other areas together and then come back to that and see what we think.